Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nora and I'm here today with another video for you guys. I hope that you guys are all doing well. Excuse my wet hair, honestly. Guys, YouTube is like the funniest platform ever. Like, I don't even think people do this for like Instagram, and I could be wrong, but it's like every time I tell myself, oh, recording a new YouTube video, I feel the need to like take a shower, to like fix up, put on some makeup. I even fought myself right now because I hate putting on makeup, but at the same time, like, okay, just a little bit of highlighter, just a little bit of bronzer, just a little bit of lip gloss, and next thing you know, you're just like just a little bit of everything at this point. But I tried my best not to put on a lot because honestly, your girl hates taking it off. But I just think it's so funny. Every time I record a video, like I take on like a full-on shower, hence why my hair is still wet. As long as it doesn't drip onto my sweater, I think I'm fine. But it's just so funny of how our brain works sometimes. Anyway, I hope that you guys are doing well. Today's video, honestly, I did not even pre-plan it. I haven't written anything down. Like, there's no notes here. I haven't even thought it through, but I'm just genuinely speaking from my heart because this is something that's so important to me, like just in my daily lifestyle. And, you know, amidst the coronavirus pandemic that's happening now, I keep seeing this message over and over again. So I wanted to speak on it a little bit more with a little story time. So, as you can see from the title, today's video is going to be talking about love thy neighbors. Take care of one another. I know this is something that's being preached over and over and over again on social media, and you know, for some it does take a pandemic or like a serious outbreak of something for them to really wake up to this fact. But I think this is something that we need to do every single day because it's really important. You know, coronavirus has people freaking out here, and by all means I totally understand. It's just important that, you know, people take the precautions that they need to take, because honestly, it's just not worth getting yourself sick or getting someone else sick when you can really avoid it. I know in Canada, you know, they've kind of taken like some lockdown procedures, like schools are closed right now, a lot of public gatherings are closed. They're telling people to self-isolate if they do feel sick, and if they don't feel sick, to just at least stay home and, you know, stay away from people. And some people are like freaking out about that. But to be honest, this is how you come before a pandemic, right? Like in other places in the world right now, like Italy, like unfortunately has spread so vastly that it's really hard to contain it. So the precautions Canada's taking is something that I do appreciate, and that I do support, to be honest. Okay, so I'm gonna tell this kind of through a story time because that's how I best learned. So 2 years ago, we moved into this apartment, my husband and I, and when we moved in, you know, we just made it a fact to just say hi to folks and get to know people. Shout out to my girl Myrna, who is literally my next door neighbor. I feel like we're Issa Rae and Molly. Like, I love our relationship. She's the best. The story's not about her, but literally God sent best neighbor ever. Shout out to you, sis. This story is about a gentleman that lives in our building, and basically we moved here about 2 years ago, and you know, in that time I didn't really get to know him at the beginning. To be honest, I didn't really notice him because we don't live on the same floor, so maybe his daily activity and like, you know, my daily routine, we just never we've never really crossed paths, okay? Up until I want to say like a year and a half ago, so like 6, maybe 8 months after moving in. It was interesting because I was home, or I was in the lobby the day he was coming home. I guess he suffered from a stroke. He's an elderly, like, South Asian man. We do not speak the same language whatsoever. We don't even understand each other because he doesn't speak English, so it's really hard to understand each other. But besides that, he does live in my building. He suffered a stroke. So the day he was coming home, like, it was just so I don't know how to explain. I want to say sad, but I don't know how they felt, so I don't want to say it was sad, but it was very challenging to say the least, because he had like a walker, but like people were literally carrying him inside his unit, and that's when he was coming home from the hospital. So like, you know, his wife was here and like somebody else was here, and they had the walker. They're getting him all set up, right? So a couple months progressed, and like you know, I see him like coming to the front lobby like with the walker, very slowly, taking his sweet time. So I guess he was getting some mobility back, but obviously not a lot. And it was just interesting because a lot of people in the building just kind of go about their day. Like, he doesn't speak English, like he can't really talk to you. So I noticed that like he sits in the same entranceway of the building every single day, maybe 5 times a day, and that's just his daily interaction. So I just like, this whole coronavirus thing made me realize that, because we're supposed to stay home and self, you know, quarantine and, you know, not go out much. And I'm like, imagine that happens to you, not by choice but by your circumstances. You understand? Like, today you could choose to stay inside because of how you're, you know, think you're feeling, or you want to stay away from people. But imagine not having that choice, you know, being bedridden, or in this case having a stroke that you're trying to recover from. So anyways, I noticed that a lot of people wouldn't like talk to him and wouldn't interact with him on a daily basis, and I didn't like that. Like, it's, you know, he's a human being. He's somebody that probably had like a really enriched life prior to having to deal with what he's dealing with. And so I just made it a point, like my husband and I, every time we see him, we say good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is. And it just became a pattern, and it was just so cute because as time progressed, you could see he's getting like his mobility back. And like, you know, we helped him from like taking his walker down the stairs just to stand at the bottom of the stairs to get fresh air outside, or like, you know, little things like holding the door open for him, holding the elevator open for him, and just being patient with him as he's getting back his mobility. So him and I started this trend. It's so cute, guys. It's like every time he sees me, and I feel he's out there every time I come outside, but every time I come down the elevator or down the stairs and I come into the lobby, he's sitting in like his little nook. I go up to him and I say good morning, and I basically shake out, like I pull up my hand, and he like holds my hand. He tries to shake it as hard as he can, and through the last couple of months he's just been getting so strong, and like he literally like comes in with a second hand. He tries to like squeeze it so hard to show me his strength. It's the cutest thing. So I like don't miss that every single day. Like every time I see him, we shake hands, like even twice a day sometimes. You can do it. Yes! Wow, that's so strong! Wow, guys, 2021 is gonna be your year, okay? Okay. You got this. I'm so proud of you. High five. High five. Yes! Have a good day. Okay. And he just gets so excited. So in return, what he does for me, because I feel like, you know, love thy neighbor. We've developed a really good relationship, even though we don't understand each other. I noticed that every time I come up to the door, whether I'm like, you know, hands-free, like, or carrying groceries, or just a hot mess when I get to the door, he always jumps up and he always runs to the door, like not even runs, sorry, he always like slowly creeps his way to the door and opens the door for me. Every single day that he sees me, he opens the door for me. And even when I have my keys, sometimes I'm reluctant to bring it out, because I feel like for him, that's his joy, that's his autonomy. And like, he's such a joker too, because sometimes like I'm like carrying groceries and like he'll walk up to the door, and sometimes even me and my husband are together, he'll do this to us. Like, he'll walk up to the door and we're like, oh, we'll let him open the door, we're not gonna pull out our key. Like, we see him and like he'll like kind of like press the door like this, like act like he's opening it, and really he's not. So it's cute. Like, we've just developed that relationship. And recently the highlight for me, and it had me cracking up, but I'm like, it's so crazy to see like how you could develop a relationship with somebody and to show them that you care and that they can trust you, even though we've never spoken. Like, we don't speak the same language, okay? I was in my car and I was just ending a phone call, and I was sitting in my car. So basically my car is facing the building. I was like at the plaza near my building, and you know, he came down the stairs very slowly. This is now when he started to walk without his walker, okay? Like, I just seen him progress, so it's so beautiful. And I see him and he kind of like waves at me. Like, he can't really lift his arm, you know, he just waves at me, and I wave back. I'm on the phone, I'm not paying attention. I'm literally not paying attention, and all of a sudden like I hear something to my right, and I was like, what? This man walks up to my car door and he literally like opens the car door, and I was like, oh, okay. And then he's like pointing and he goes, coffee, coffee. And I was like, coffee? And I know he like drinks McDonald's coffee, you know? I was like, oh, do you want to go to McDonald's? And he's like, yeah, like take me to McDonald's. And I was like, wow, like it was just, to me, it was so beautiful. He was like, sis, we're cool, I see you, I'm asserting myself, I see you with your car, I need a ride to McDonald's, I know you can do it, come on, hook a brother up, you know? So he got in my car, I made sure he put on his seatbelt, I waited, I'm just really patient with him. I drive him over to McDonald's, which is literally like a bird's, like you can see it from our apartment. My best friend got, he's so cute. Bye. You guys, I just was in the parking lot. This man walked up to my car. He opened the door and was like, hey, listen, man, give me a ride to McDonald's. He's the best, guys. He's so cute, mashallah. Aww. It was just really cute because I feel like he was comfortable enough to like do that, which obviously if it was a complete stranger or someone I had no interactions with, girl, you know, I'm gonna press the lock real quick. I do that all the time. You know, guys see people walk by my car, I'll press the lock. It's Toronto, guys. Nobody can be trusted. Anyways, I came home and like to me it was like I was really happy because I'm like, you know, he doesn't have the same mobility he once had. He can't speak the language, you know, that he would like to probably communicate with people. It's really hard for him to socialize with people because a lot of people don't have the patience for him. And, you know, so something, you know, my husband and I always do is just to greet him, help him carry his walker, hold doors open for him. If we see him outside walking, like we'll literally like walk behind him or in front of him and just like be around him so that he doesn't feel isolated, okay? And you know, it's just a beautiful situation. And it just genuinely makes me happy because I'm like, there's nothing I do for him, you know, there's nothing that I can give to him, like nothing, but all it is time and it's patience and it's just a kind heart, and that costs nothing pretty much. So I just wanted to share that message with you guys. And you know, I don't want to get too much into it because I feel like it can get really political, but like this whole coronavirus thing, guys, is real. I just want to say, you know, do what you got to do to prepare, you know, do what you got to do to feel comfortable, but also to stay calm. Remember to have faith, you know, there's not a lot of things that we have control over as individuals, so just really have faith in God, guys. And you know, last but not least, guys, is take care of each other. You know, there's elderly people, there's, you know, people who don't have, you know, certain mobility, mental health, just all this stuff that can't really take care of themselves in the same way that you and I could probably take care of ourselves. So make sure that you keep those people in mind, whether it's just taking over like a care package for them or something along that lines. You know, just be kind to one another, guys, because it literally costs nothing, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed that story time. I hope it inspires you to make a connection with somebody that you might not really make a connection with every day in your everyday life. If you did like this video, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below and let me know what kind of videos that you guys want to see. I always love jumping on here and talking to you guys, really and truly, because I respect you guys that didn't. But if I could just sit here and eat my jalapeno cheddar Cheetos the whole time, I would. But no, for real, guys, let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see, because like sometimes I don't know what to talk about, and I feel like I don't have the same life experiences I used to always have. So like, you know, when you're always on public transit or like you're doing fun stuff every day, you just kind of have stories to tell. I don't have that anymore. So let me know what you guys want to see, okay? Especially for those of y'all who follow me, who know you, who know us, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. Noodles, take care. Oh no, honey. So, real talk, my shirt's on backwards. I think we're just gonna continue here because y'all wouldn't have known if I didn't say a word. Okay. Can y'all just check out these earrings though?